Welcome back, dear viewers, and to know more about Ramadan traditions and the effect of Ramadan on the behaviors and spirituality of Muslims. We're joined over the phone with Dr. Eddin Allam, our distinguished guest. Good afternoon, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to you too, and happy Ramadan to you and all the family of Management International and all our viewers.
Happy Ramadan to you, sir. So what makes Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, different from the rest of the month of the year?
Definitely there are various reasons for making Ramadan as a special month. And of course the fact that it is the month during which Muslims observe the fasting, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It is the month through which during which the Holy Quran started to be revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Of course, in addition to the fact that the Layla of al-Qadr, the night of power, it also occurs during the month of Ramadan.
Right. Well, what are the most important traditions and practices that takes place during Ramadan in Egypt and other Muslim countries around the world?
Of course, there are numerous times as well. But of course, when we see Muslims praying the Tarawih, following the Isha prayer, also the gatherings, but of course, this is a tradition that maybe cannot be maintained due to the corona virus, but still people can check on one another, people can maintain their ties of friendship. And of course, what matters in this is to utilize the month of Ramadan, doing good deeds, praying, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and reciting the Holy Quran.
Right. Well, Ramadan has changed throughout the years, and definitely the practices and traditions has also changed. What are the different aspects in the past? How can we compare the past and the present?
Definitely, people change and societies change, but still the essence of the practices when it comes to getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when it comes to helping the poor and the needy, because as the individuals fast, they are more in a position to feel for the poor and the needy, and thus they are more encouraged to extend the helping hand towards the poor and needy. Of course, the technology and all the advancements that community experience and they have an influence. They influence the practices of the societies and the communities. But as I said, the essence of these practices is the same.
Right. In your opinion, sir, how should people get prepared for the holy month? I mean, spiritually and also socially.
Definitely, there are a number of ways or mechanisms utilized through employing which the individual can be better prepared for receiving the month of Ramadan and getting the most of the month of Ramadan. And of course, on top of what is the intention of the individual. So this is why it's important to have the determination to seize every day in the month of Ramadan securely and sincerely fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not for showing off, not for impressing anyone else. Another important thing is repentance or tawbah, and that's by seeking the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being determined to become a better human being and to quit any negative habits, practices, and of course utilizing the time of Ramadan for reciting the Quran. So as we are already at the beginning of the month, it's very important to start reading the Quran, and more importantly, with reflecting on the meaning of the Quran.
Right. How far, in your opinion, does the holy month affect the behavior of people in dealing with each other?
This is, of course, a very important question, and anyone who looks into the rationale behind the legislation of the pillars of Islam and the practices of Islamic jurisprudence, we clearly see that they are associated with the betterment and the development of the character of the human being. And of course, fasting has this aspect of boosting the willpower and the self-control of the individual. And this is key because when the individual voluntarily and willingly abstains from all that which is normally permissible, such as eating and drinking, of course, with the passage of the 30 days of Ramadan, and when they are over, the person is more in a position to be in control and to manage one's urges, one's impulses, one's needs, and this is a very important aspect of an impact on the character of the individual. Another important thing is how is it due to the variety of alternatives and distractions that are available and accessible nowadays than any time before. It is easy for people to become addicted to certain things. And this is why the month of Ramadan can be seen in order to quit negative habits and to develop better ones.
Right. Well, training little children to fast is a very important matter to parents. At what age should parents start training their children to fast, and how can they do this?
Yeah, this is, of course, a very important question. And the point that I need to clarify here is the fact that a Muslim, the Muslim individual, becomes accountable only when he or she reaches the age of puberty. And this is why, before this age, all what the parents can do is just gradually prepare their kids, most importantly, psychologically, and when it comes to their mental well-being, and that's by telling them the importance of Ramadan and making them aware of the virtues of the month of Ramadan. Yeah, when we look into the life of the Prophet and the life of the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him and may Allah be with all of them, we see that he used to train their children in order that when they reach the age of puberty, they are in a position to start the family. So, for example, when the kid reaches the age of 10, for instance, it can just be to guide them to start practicing fasting just for a few hours, as much as they can, and of course without causing any harm to them, be it psychological or physical or any form of harm. So this is very important because I know parents are eager to train their children and to have them to start fasting, but again and I repeat, this needs to be done gradually and in a safe way. And this is why, as I said, the individual only needs to start fasting when they reach the age of puberty. And there are signs for this. So when it comes to males, it is when they reach the age of puberty and they start to experience wet dreams. As for females, this is when they reach the point of experiencing the monthly cycle. If none of these signs appear, then the Muslim scholars, and according to what the fatwa is on nowadays, it is by reaching the age of 15 years old.
Right. Well, people tend to adopt very good habits during the holy month of Ramadan. How can those habits be adopted throughout the whole year? How can they last throughout the year?
Excuse me, I couldn't get the question. Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, people tend to adopt very good habits during Ramadan. So how can these habits last throughout the year?
Yeah, of course. This is a very important question. And I do think that what matters most is the importance of helping one another and the importance of supporting one another. And this is a matter of concern for all institutions and for all individuals as well. So we need also to see from the media the focus on what is important and what is beneficial and what is of benefit to the people. So we see in setting the atmosphere, it's a mutual and societal and institutional responsibility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, and the meaning of which is, and help one another in following the truth and in being patient. So I do think that, of course, having the sincere intention and being aware that the month of Ramadan is definitely sacred, but Allah is like the Lord of the month of Ramadan. He is also the Lord of the rest of the year. So keeping this in mind and helping one another and renewing one's intention is definitely very helpful in this regard.
Sir, how can people benefit from the holy month of Ramadan on the individual level?
Of course, there are many aspects of benefit that can be implemented or that can be attained and achieved, if you like, in the personal level. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the capacity to boost one's willpower and self-control. Because this is a very important issue for building and for developing any civilization. And this is why, in this regard, we have a growing scientific literature that one of the most important stumbling blocks that prevent people or hinder people from achieving the goals and longer-term objectives is lacking a strong willpower. And this is why we need to utilize the month of Ramadan in order to boost our willpower and self-control so that each and every individual is more in a position to be more productive on the individual level, on the family level, on the community level, and of course on a national or a nationwide level.
Sir, charity is very important during Ramadan. Ramadan is the month of charity. How important is charity and zakah during the holy month?
Definitely, it's very important and it's a very virtuous act of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we see that how it is in view of the fact that the individual is deprived willingly from food and from drinking. This engenders in the individual this sense of being more in a position to feel for the poor and the needy who are in a dire need of the basic necessities of the human being. So this is why we see how the people hasten towards helping the poor and providing charity. And what I need to stress here is the fact that people now are more of a need of help because of the circumstances of the coronavirus. So if there are people that we are used to help and support, we need to make sure that we continue doing this. Another thing, in spite of the fact that public meetings are not permissible because of the restrictions and because of the precautionary measures, still this money can be used in order to provide for the poor and the needy and the orphans. And this is why one of the acts of worship that are closely related to the month of Ramadan and the fasting of the month of Ramadan in particular is offering the capital first, or giving the poor and the needy what is known as the charity of breaking the obligatory fasting of Ramadan. And of course, we see the wisdom here, and to provide each and every member in the community with the ability to enjoy the time of the Eid, and so that they are not in need of asking for help or begging for money. And this meaning is very clear in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and he says, أغنوهم عن السؤال في هذا اليوم, that make them in no need of asking for money on this day.
Right. Sir, finally, what message or advice would you like to give to people during the holy month?
Definitely, I have many messages in mind, but the one that stands out the most is, alhamdulillah, now in many Muslim communities, there is the possibility to pray Tarawih. So what I need to stress here is the importance of being committed to the precautionary and health measures that are prescribed by the competent health authorities in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus or any other disease. So we need to maintain the social distance while praying Tarawih. We need to use the face mask. We need to use the hand sanitizer regularly. You need to go to the mosque while already in a state of tahara, or after you have performed the ablution. And of course, to maintain the ties of friendship and to help the poor and the needy. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept all our good deeds and to protect all human beings and to safeguard our beloved country, Egypt, and the people and all the people of the world. Amen.
Right, Dr. Eddin Allam, our distinguished guest, many thanks for your insights, sir. And dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of Cairo Local Time. Many thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more coming up here on Nile TV International.